Record. Okay, hi guys. I was just working on the course and I was trying to figure out how do I tell you where you can place your X's on your chart. So the X's, as you know, signify your drop down double crochets or your front loop only double crochets, and that's where you're going to crochet over the other colors so that you can get your design to work when you crochet it up, and so you can get the color work and you can get your pattern to show up. So I'm going to show you kind of where you can place your X's, and then also in this pattern I'm showing you like that this pattern doesn't work for overlay mosaic crochet, and some tips on how to fix it. Okay, so that's what we're kind of going to do in this video. So we see a lot of white space in here, and that's the white space areas are kind of the easy places to be able to place your X's. So your X's are your double crochets in the front loop only, and that's what's going to hide the color like we talked about. So down here at the bottom, like in row 2, we want to cover up row 1, which is this color B. And so I'm just going to place the X's here. Just imagine this is, there's a foundation row here, foundation single crochet row here. And so we're going to crochet into the front loop only of those stitches. So row 1 is actually like worked on top of the foundation row. So that's why I'm going to put these X's so that we're working over color B. Okay. And then any time that there are 3 in a row, you place an X on top of the 3. So here's an X here. So that counts as 1, 2, 3. You're going to place an X there, if that makes sense. Maybe an easier place to start would be like, I'm going to change to my color B, and these stitches here are single crochet, so we're not going to place X's here. But if you see, we have a stack of 3 black boxes in one column. The top of that column is going to have an X. Okay, so the top one, the middle one is just nothing. That's just we're going to be doing a single crochet in the back loop only here. And we're going to work over that with our double crochet. And then this row here is a single crochet with our color B. So anytime there's a stack of 3, the top one is going to have your double crochet. Does that make sense? So say here in the middle, like there's a nose, some funny looking nose here. That's not really going to work. If it was like, the nose would have to be like that. So you have 1, 2, 3. These ones up here would be your X's. Those would be your front loop only double crochet. Okay. Does that make sense? Clear as mud? So if we change, oops, wrong color. Other tip, as I just did that in the wrong place. You're going to place your X's. The only time you can place your X's is in a row of that same color. So I can't place any black X's in row 4 because row 4 is just a color A row. That's the only color that I'm using is that. So we can't have any black X's. Okay. So color A only has color A X's, color B only has color B X's. And another thing, this chart doesn't work for overlay mosaic crochet. I was just kind of creating it up to show you where I'm going to place some X's, but this chart doesn't work. And let me show you why. Well, here I am with my color A X, my white X, and I see here like I want to crochet over this black. So I'm going to place X's here, but actually we don't have a stack of 3. And what I would be doing is crocheting into the front loop only of this black row, and I would be crocheting that over and it wouldn't show up. So the issue is I have these, the bottom of the smile, the smiley face is just like a single row of black boxes. but it's in the color A row. So this just doesn't compute when you're actually crocheting it up, because you can't have just a single row line of like color B in a color A row, because this would be made white. That would be made in color A. Okay, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. But if we can see in these eyes here as well, we don't have a stack of 3. So this row 11 would be made black. But how in the world are we going to get row 10 to be black as well? Because that's just going to be made up as white. So that wouldn't really compute. So if you want to have a chunk of color, like a group of color, you have to have like a stack of 3. In the top of the stack has to be like in the color B row, and the bottom has to be color B, and then you just crochet over the color A. So like this row 10 doesn't work. Okay, we have to get rid of that. And then you see how row 11 is color B, and that's the bottom of our eyeball. In the top of the eyeball is row 13, and that's color B. So that's where I'm going to place my X's. Sorry, guys. Okay, does that make sense? In order for this smile to work, I have to make my smile actually in this row so that my color B is a color B row. I can't have this random single black. So what I would have to be is like this. Okay, and now this chart makes sense, and we can actually crochet it up. And I'd put my X's here because we have a stack of 3. And then we'd fill in the rest like with white X's. Those don't work because we're not doing drop down right there. But these would be X's. Anytime you have 1, 2, 3, not one right here because that's not a stack of 3 in a row. It'd be like that. Okay, not here because we can't do a double crochet on top of a black double crochet. Okay, these ones in this whole row, those ones, not these ones because that's not a stack of 3. Ooh, you see I missed that one. Okay, and that's that chart as far as I can tell. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. You might find that you make mistakes like that smiley face where it looks good on the chart, but then you realize this doesn't actually compute when I crochet it. That's okay. We're learning. Just try again. Okay, let me know if you have any questions on where to place your X's and how to make a chart make sense when you're crocheting it. Okay. Thanks, guys.